Hey, Good Healthy UTV squad. I'm Chris Freytag. I am so happy to be here. You guys know me, and this is our monthly Q&A, which is super fun for members and non-members. And as you can see, we have a special guest today, which is super fun. Also, we've been bringing in some special guests every so often for you guys to chat with. Let me start by introducing my sidekick, Sam Cam. How are you?
Good, how are you?
My better half when it comes to work. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Sam will do what she does. She monitors all the questions coming in, the pre-asked questions, the questions that you guys are asking on the fly. We're talking about skincare and menopause skincare in particular,
yep.
Which leads me to our special guest, Sally Mueller, co-founder of Womaness skincare and wellness line, a product that I've been using now. I think it's been about a year and a half,
yes,
maybe,
since we met.
Longer. Thank you, Sally, for being here.
Thank you.
So
Chris
fun
and
to have
Sam.
you here.
It's so great to be here and with your
with our group,
with your community,
our people. Yes,
your people.
You guys are our people. And really fun is that Sally's from Minneapolis. I just want to talk about where and why Womaness was birthed. How did this skincare program come to be? And I started using it, like I said, about a year and a half ago when they contacted me, and Sam knows. I'm like, I'm not putting that on my face. Not changing my skincare. When you get older, you're very like, I don't want to try new things. And I did try new things, and we're going to talk all about the products. But Sally, let's just dig in, because before we get to all these questions, let's dig into why Womaness. What happened? What's your background? You were at Target?
I was at Target for almost 25 years and had a lot of experience in product development and marketing. Always in apparel, but I dabbled a little bit in beauty.
Okay.
And then I left to start my own business about, 15 years ago.
Okay.
And during that time period, I actually incubated a couple different beauty lines.
Wow.
One was a skincare line, more directed to millennials, and one was a beauty line. And loved the whole experience and really felt like I wanted to kind of focused my career in that area. But the real aha moment for me was my own menopause experience, of course.
It hits you like a ton of bricks.
It
Many
does.
of you know.
And so, I'm in my late 40s. I'm going through perimenopause at this point. And I finally saw a doctor. And in that doctor's appointment, she was, explaining a lot of the benefits of hormone therapy, which we can also talk about today.
Yes.
But she also said, here's a list of products for you to buy on Amazon. And it was everything from like vaginal lubricants and, some supplements and skincare. And I looked at those products and I thought, oh my gosh, someone has to disrupt this space. Someone has to modernize it. It was like these products were on the dusty bottom shelf of the drugstore.
Yeah.
And this was no disrespect to this doctor's taste level. It was just emblematic of the lack of, I would say modern, quality, innovative products out there.
And so then you and Michelle,
my co-founder, Michelle.
You guys said, this is it.
Yep, we did. We were at a point in our careers and lives where we wanted to do something for ourselves and something for women like us.
Yep.
And we developed Womaness all around the product line, really addresses the major symptoms of menopause. Skin and body, we have sexual wellness, and we have supplements.
Yes.
And we wrap all of our products with educational information. We have a pretty extensive blog on our site, and also community.
Yep, which I've been a part of.
Yes,
and then, of course,
absolutely.
Clean ingredients.
Yes.
Which has become really important to me. Even, Sam, even in your 30s, like we talk about it. As we become more educated, you realize the skin is your largest organ. So what you put on your skin, it's just like the same, like what are you drinking through your mouth? What you put on your skin gets absorbed. Yeah. Makes such a difference. So I love that story. I love that you guys were passionate enough. Obviously, you had the background and the knowledge.
Yes.
Sam and I aren't starting a skincare line anytime soon.
We are not. We'll stick to
so
the
I love that you knew where to go. And,
Yes, it does help when you have background, but I think a lot of it comes down to passion, curiosity, your own network. Can you fill in the gaps? If you don't know something, can you find the expert that can help you?
And so we're going to get in the nitty gritty, but let me just ask you from a business standpoint, that's hard. Like you have to be resilient. Like I'm sure you guys have had up and down. trying
Oh,
to get in
yes.
retailers, trying to, yeah.
I would say fundraising is the most challenging part of the job.
Right, getting investors
Raising money,
raising money
yes.
to do what you're doing.
It's really
well,
hard.
it's commendable.
Thank
and thank you for
you.
doing it for women like us
Yeah.
who need a skincare line, who need products that you can trust that
Right.
and honestly I love that they're made by women who have a background in it but
Yeah.
also are going through menopause or
Right,
have
right.
gone through, because you guys all know when you're on the other side you're like, oh, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's coming. So let's answer
And
some
I just want to say thank you because we met, remember,
Yes,
at
yes,
Lululemon,
yes, we did.
and we formed a friendship, and then we started working together, and we just love our relationship with
well,
you guys.
I appreciate it. And also,
So-
is it okay for me to mention that you're a cancer survivor?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I mentioned it without asking, really.
And that's
But-
not where I wore my pink blouse.
No, but I mean, so you've been through a lot personally
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
and take pride in what you're putting in
Right,
your mouth and
right.
putting on
Yep.
your body. And I do just want to mention that we do have a download. I had written a blog about my skincare routine. People ask all the time, what products are you using? And I have kind of like a 3 that I'm married to with Womaness that I use on a daily basis. I keep my routine, I'm going to be honest, very simple. I am not a 10-stepper. When someone comes to
Well,
me and says,
I think you're more like the,
normal-
average person.
When someone says, I have a 10-step, I'm like, stop right there.
Yeah.
Not
No,
going to
thank
do it. So I'll go through what I use regularly, but there's so many good products at Womaness. We're going to talk all about that. But if you want the download of just what it is I use, I think we're putting it up on the screen or going to put it up on the screen so you guys can get the download. And then Sam has a link to all of the products on Amazon. So we can give you that too, so that if you guys want to check them out. Although those of you who have been following along hear me talk about Womaness a lot. So this is really exciting to have Sally here. All right, let's start with some questions. Let's get into it, Sam.
Lots of people are very exciting. They all are saying their menopause skin needs some assistance today. So here we
Okay.
go.
Good.
So we have Anne saying, I rarely had hot flashes during perimenopause, but now that she's in postmenopause, she's getting hot flashes about every single day. Is that normal?
Post-menopause.
Yeah.
I personally, I want to hear from you, but
Yeah.
I personally think that's normal. I have friends who are still getting hot flashes. I'm 59, turning 60 in a couple months. I don't get any hot flashes, but
It's
the whole
unique to each woman. It's very, very interesting. So
it can still be triggered.
I think just maybe a little bit of background. So perimenopause is that time period before obviously menopause, and menopause is defined as 12 consecutive months without your period.
Correct.
So if you have a period 5 months in, you start over. The clock starts over.
And my 2
So-
younger sisters keep starting over, and they're
Yes.
so upset. They're like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, they're
I
not
have
in
to
the
start
club
the
yet.
clock.
They're
I have
not
to
in the
start the
club.
clock over.
But perimenopause can be 4 to 7 years, and some of the symptoms can be most intense during that period
Okay.
of time. Once you're through menopause, then you really almost go right into postmenopause, because menopause is just a moment of time.
It's like a birthday. It's a
And-
moment in time.
Yes.
My menopause day.
Yes,
And by the way,
exactly.
write it down, because my 2 younger
know.
sisters are like, "So Chris, how did it go for you?" And I'm like, "Oh God, when was that 12-month birthday of my?
Exactly.
I can't remember. I
Can't
wish I would have written
remember.
the day down. I don't even
Yes.
remember the year."
I know. I can't remember either. So postmenopause, you're in until you leave the earth.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize that. And I think symptoms can change.
And they can come and go.
They can come and go. And I think a lot of women have more intense hot flashes as they go into postmenopause.
So let's talk about your supplement, menopause, because I don't have a lot of postmenopause
Right,
things
right.
besides the fact, lower energy, or I'm more tired or whatever, although I do a lot of things to combat that. But this supplement is really geared towards those women who are continuing to have those symptoms.
Yeah. So we actually worked with a nutritionist and a scientist. We consulted doctors too, but doctors don't know as much about supplements.
I know.
We did, obviously, with our vaginal products, really lean into doctor, like gynecologist opinion on ingredients, which we'll get to. But the key ingredient in this supplement is pycnogenol. And
Say that again, because
it's pycnogenol.
Pycnogenol.
And there's a lot of information on Amazon.com in our brand
What is
section.
pycnogenol?
It's French maritime tree bark. So it's a natural product, but it's been clinically tested for about 20 years, and it helps with hot flashes, blood circulation, even period cramps. And
So you could use it peri
So
and
can you
post.
use
yes,
it beforehand?
absolutely.
Sam's like, no, you're
Excuse
not
me?
ready. You're in childbearing years. No, no, no.
Yeah, and it has 60 milligrams of pycnogenol.
Okay.
And it is like the superpower ingredient in this.
Okay, so I have recommended this to people. I have not personally taken it because when I hit menopause, for me, the symptoms kind of I didn't get the hot flashes anymore. I wasn't waking
Right.
up with the night sweats. I mean, of course, I have brain fog and some of those things, but I have some friends who absolutely are like, my symptoms have lingered.
Right,
So this is great.
So I recommend this. You know, we say we have customers that have used this. Even Ann Goebel on our team
Yes.
has filmed a whole hot flash. I mean, she started documenting.
Yep.
And she could not believe the results.
Yep.
You know, and I think
Wow.
we're very careful with our claims. We don't say you're going to eliminate hot flashes.
Right.
Right.
You're going to reduce the
Yep.
intensity of your hot flashes.
Well,
But
and I
a
love
lot
something
of,
that's natural, like
Yeah.
that comes from natural ingredients. Try that first before
Right,
you get
right.
into any kind of
Yeah.
prescription or
Right.
anything else. So
and there's ashwagandha, which is great
ashwagandha
for
is awesome.
love.
Yes.
calming. And then the other clinical ingredient in here is Bacchanize for brain fog. So it's part.
Well,
it's
maybe
der-
I will
it's
start
derived,
taking it.
It's derived from the bacopa plant, which has been known to really help with concentration and
Okay.
brain fog. So
That's a great product.
yeah, we love it. It's our top-selling supplement. So-
Fantastic. Okay, cool. Next, Sam.
Yes. Sally, can you recommend anything for dark spots on the face?
You know, vitamin C serum, we have one called Fountain of Glow, which is
I love it.
my favorite product.
We love
That
it.
can help with like evening out skin tone. I don't think it will fully eliminate dark spots.
Right.
We used to sell a patch. I think we're still giving them away as part of a purchase online. It's really hard. There's so many different types of dark spots.
Yeah.
Yes, that can be
And, like,
caused from different things.
intensities
Exactly.
of it,
So
yeah.
it was hard for us. The product worked, but it didn't work on every dark spot.
For sure.
So vitamin C is like, I have heard doctors, nutritionists,
Yeah.
naturopaths call it the miracle vitamin. It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's, if you take it internally, it's water soluble. You
Right,
pee
right.
out the extra, so you can you can't overdose. And I have been told by every skincare person since I was younger, use vitamin C on your skin if you want to preserve your skin. And I
Yeah.
use this every day.
is
Now,
such a
here's
good
how I
thing.
use it though,
Yeah.
because it is a little oily. People
Yep.
freak out because you're not going to put it on in the morning and then put your
Right.
makeup on.
Yes, tell me
So
how you use it.
When I'm done for the day, like I just come home and it's dinner time or whatever,
Right.
I just put it on my face.
Yep.
And I just let it soak in. I'm maybe watching TV or doing whatever I do at night. I let it soak in. And then I do the overnight magic,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about when I'm going to bed.
Right.
But just giving it that time, or even sometimes after my workout in the morning, I come home, Sam and I work from home. So, I mean, putting on makeup is maybe a twice a week thing for me.
We love
So-
it.
Yeah. So I will just put it on my face and let it kind of soak in.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't put it on 5 minutes before you're doing your makeup.
No, I
Yeah.
actually put it on at night, so
Yep.
you can see that it's kind of
Yeah.
And
that's
now,
squal-
okay,
that's
I want it on the
actually-
back of my hands because that's where I'm getting the dark spots.
that's actually squalene. That's the ingredient in there. That's really the hydrator.
Put some on. Every age group can use vitamin
But
C.
what I love about this product is it does soak in and it dries. Like you don't continue to experience the
The greasiness.
The greasiness.
So
it's really temporary.
It soaks in,
I know
quickly.
It's
I
so
just-
nice on the hands.
I started recommending it to people, and they're like, "Chris, I don't get it. I can't put my makeup on." I'm like, "You don't put it on right before your makeup." But I'm telling you, vitamin C, miracle, sunspot, and honestly, keep your freaking skin out of that sun.
it
I
really
will not go
helps-
outside without a hat on
right.
anymore.
It really helps with dull skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Brightens
could
it
see a
up.
difference if I just go a few days without using it. My skin just looks duller. But
This is like if you're going to buy a product, buy this. Like
I
this
agree.
one,
I
you should
love
be
this.
putting vitamin C on your skin. And honestly, I have been thinking about, we've been talking about the back of our hands because
Yes.
women, Botox, laser, whatever. But then your age is right here on
well,
your hands.
and you're driving the car and you're not protecting. They say
That's so-
you're still
yeah.
getting.
your hands and your neck,
know?
we're going to get into the neck, show your age. Nobody
Right, right.
Botoxes their hands or their neck. So,
Right.
You got to do the right thing. And
Yeah.
honestly, vitamin C is so affordable.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
This is such a good product. And it really lasts a long time. The bottle, a little bit goes a long way.
So that's like your number one, like,
yeah,
get
and
that
I
in
use
your-
it every night.
Okay, wait, quickly. So I had asked you before, vitamin C, obviously we just said miracle. But if I said, if there were one product that you wanted to put on your skin, I wanted to know from Sally what that one product was. Tell them what it is. You said it earlier.
What I said is it's really more of an ingredient.
An ingredient. Yeah, I said, which product is the best? She said it's an
hyaluronic
ingredient.
acid is the number one ingredient for hydrating skin.
Okay.
And when you start to go through perimenopause and menopause, your skin dramatically changes. All over your body, even your vaginal
All
skin.
over your whole body,
Even your
ladies.
vaginal skin. And so hyaluronic acid is really good for hydrating.
Yeah.
Because you've dropped, your collagen drops in your skin starts to thin out, and you get drier. I used to have oily skin. Now I have super dry skin.
And I was just reading about this, about why you see veins and
Yeah.
and you see a lot more on your hands because your skin is thinning. You're
Thinning.
losing. And okay, why do we lose the fat on our top of our hands, the top of our knees,
But we get it elsewhere.
and our elbows, and our boobs, but it goes everywhere else. Like, keep the fat right there, please.
I know.
But so that
that's
leads
just
me
how
to
the body
this
works.
hyaluronic.
So,
Okay.
hyaluronic acid, we actually have an advanced form of it called
Okay.
HyaClear 7.
Okay, that's what's in here.
It's in our body cream, which is called the Works. It is in our
Overnight Magic.
Overnight
so these two are
Magic.
my. There are 4 products that are my faves.
It is in our Eye Opener, which is an under eye cream. And it is in Let's Neck, which is our number one seller, which is the neck.
Neck and decollete.
Neck and
We'll talk about that.
yeah.
But let's talk about this one, because if you could have been in my house about 4 hours ago, I got out of the shower, and the thing I do is I slather my body in this. It has got nicotinamide and the
HyaClear 7.
Okay, which is, you can talk about that hyaluronic acid.
Yeah.
It's natural. Something that has bugged me is, like, I used to buy sometimes like what's that called? A Vino, or like
Right.
some of those brands. And I look at the ingredients. I'm like, I cannot believe I'm putting this all over my body. I know
Yeah.
it's not good. I've always looked
Right.
for non-toxic.
Right.
So I slathered this on my body. You're a little white when you first put it on. Like, it has like a white, and in about literally less than 30
Right,
seconds,
right.
it just all soaks in. It has literally changed the skin on my arms here.
Yeah.
And I slather my thighs. Ladies, where you get crepey skin, just like,
Right.
put it on,
Right.
baby, put it on.
Right.
And it's not
Right.
super expensive. Like, you're not buying $100
Right.
lotion that you're
Yeah.
afraid to use too fast.
This is $24.99, and it's
I'm obsessed.
very like thick, but it goes on and it really absorbs quickly.
Now, I had somebody ask me, this
don't-
is for every age, right? Like, yes, it's
Yes.
great for menopause, but like Sam could use this.
Oh yeah, my husband uses it.
I love that.
I'm going to start having my husband use it. You've been saying that. Like, I love
I know,
this.
and it's true. Sorry, now I have too much on my hands.
I know.
I
we'll
need to
get
put
you
some
a
on my
tissue.
leg, maybe.
Here, this was the tissue I used on my straw.
thank
Here
you.
we go.
Straw.
But it is so niacinamide is for evening out skin tone. It's a form of vitamin B.
So my dermatologist, I have a lot of skin cancers. I've had a lot of them
Okay.
removed. I've had a melanoma. I've had tons of, what's the next one? Squamous cell carcinomas.
Yeah.
I've had,
Wow.
So
Chris, I didn't know that.
Yes,
Yeah.
lots.
Wow.
And I am really, really careful, really, really cautious. And she told me I need to take niacinamide. She
Yeah.
said, you need to take it orally. You need to put it on your skin. It is so important. So here it is in this. And now I just slather my body with this
Yes.
every freaking day.
Yeah, as soon as you're done like showering and drying a little bit, it's best to use it then.
That is when I use it, but when I
Yeah,
go to
when
bed
your
at
skin
night,
is a little
I
more
also
supple.
just
Yes,
do the arms.
I agree.
because,
I think it's really helpful to do it twice a day, and
if you're
it's
trying to rid
really
of
good
crepey skin,
product.
ladies, lift weights, because muscle tone is going to keep that skin, looking good, and then use a lotion. You cannot skip it.
This is selling really well, and I think people have realized that it's so much better than a lot of the product
Yeah.
out there. And it's like you said, it's made with all clean ingredients.
Clean
as
ingredients. Okay, what else, Sam?
We have Lori asking, will Clean Slate be back in stock
Oh.
soon?
We are working on it.
That's the cleanser.
That is such a good cleanser. I have 1/2 of tube left in my on my vanity, and I'm just cherishing
Holding
every minute
on to
of
it.
Yes, we are working on getting it back in
Yes,
stock.
I know, because
We had an uproar.
I
when it
ran
went
out
on.
of it, and I've
Yeah.
had people asking me too. I'm
Yes.
like, listen, I don't have any either.
Yeah. They're like, Chris,
a
can you
great-
send us
I
some?
know.
It's a great cleanser. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hold tight on that one.
Yes, hold tight.
Okay, so we have, let's see. I am postmenopausal and my skin is very dry.
Yes.
I want to be consistent with skincare, but the less steps, the better. And she's getting confused by retinol, peptides, fillers. Like, what products do you guys suggest? Obviously, we've just talked about some of them. But if you had to keep like less steps, what would that kind of look like?
We are big believers in less steps. I mean, the average person uses
yeah.
probably 3 to 4 products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I think even if you're a self-proclaimed beauty junkie, you don't use all those products.
Right. Who
You
has-
know, they're
who has
kind of
time?
sitting on your vanity.
Who has time, honest
I
to
know.
God?
So we really believe in a streamlined assortment and a streamlined routine. Of the products that she mentioned, I would say retinol, but you have to be careful. It can be very drying.
Yes.
We do have a retinol product. I did not bring it. It's called Plump It Up, and it's very, very much like a spot treatment.
I've used that, like
Okay.
around the lip line
Yeah.
and stuff, and it didn't give me any effect because usually retinol isn't good for me.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay, that's interesting.
So what the gentler form of retinol is in Overnight Magic,
Yep.
which is Bacchusol.
Yeah. Let's
or-
show that. So for this gal, who what was her name?
Lori.
Lori. I have rosacea, and so I've had massive breakouts over the course of the last 10 years where it'll go in spurts, but usually I have a breakout like every 2 years, and different things bring it on. And retinol is one of them. Like, I am terrified of retinol on my face.
Yeah.
And I am so dry. My skin is so dry. I would
Right.
literally just put my face down in like oil.
Yeah.
But I've been using this Overnight Magic, and my skin has been so much brighter. Now, this plant-based retinol is
Right.
like, it's kind of the best of both worlds because
Yeah,
it
it's
isn't
just
as
gentler.
strong. But like, I put this all over my face. Like I said, I
Right.
first put on the vitamin C, let it soak in, and then I do the Overnight Magic. Wow.
Right.
I mean, it is just so
I'm trying to.
hydrating for your
Yeah,
face.
yeah. Can you get
Is it
that
stuck?
out?
Because now you've got greasy skin.
Well,
Yeah, so
it's
I
just
love
still
it.
absorbing.
And
a
I'm
little bit.
assuming that you guys have had a lot of good feedback on this.
Really
one?
good
Whoops,
feedback.
sorry to rip it.
And I use it under my makeup in the morning.
Okay, you use it in the morning
because
too.
I do. I use it at night as well. So I sometimes put it on first, and then I put Fountain of Glow on over it.
Okay.
If I feel like I really need.
So I was talking to one of your people. Here you go.
Yes.
I was talking to one of your
So
people, and they
this
said
is
to
what
me,
it looks like.
"Don't let the name Overnight Magic fool you. You
Yeah.
can put it on in the
Yeah.
morning." I was like, "Ooh, I like
Right.
that," because sometimes in the
Yeah,
morning
we
I just
probably should have called it Everyday Magic, but too late now. But
Rebranding.
it's really a little bit, again, goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I think it's got the retinol, but it's the
got
gentler
plant-based.
form. The
Well, okay, and I'm
plant-based.
guilty. Like, everybody always says, a little bit goes a long way. I'm the like classic, like,
You
dip
can-
in, just
yeah.
slather. But because it's so affordable, I
Right.
don't feel guilty
Right.
using more of it. But
Yeah.
that Overnight Magic has been amazing. And when it comes to, like you were saying, fillers and
Peptides, I think was the other
Yep.
question. So a lot of peptides is a larger molecule. Doesn't even absorb always into your skin.
Really?
And
Interesting.
yeah, we're working with a formulator to come up with a peptide that is small enough that will.
What do you think of the
absorb.
collagen peptides that we're all eating? I mean, powder.
I think that's better.
Okay.
But I think sometimes peptides on the skin surface does
Don't
not
work.
even
Doesn't
absorb,
absorb.
is what I've been told.
So that makes sense. So listen to that.
And then fillers is a whole nother thing.
ball game.
I mean, I've never done them.
So I do
kind of
Botox
afraid.
on my face and have for 20-something
Yeah.
years. I don't know. But I haven't done fillers either. And people accuse me of it all the time. They're like, "Oh, you're using filler." I'm like, "No, I've just got a fat face." Like, actually, I don't have a fat face because I've been noticing as I get older. You notice
Yeah,
your
you're
face.
thinning out.
Yeah, you look at your face in a
No,
picture.
you
You're like,
look-
"What the
you
hell
look
happened to my
great,
skin?"
and
But
I just don't think fillers look natural, and I think
and they can get botched. They can get botched.
They can get botched, and my daughter was explaining this. They shift. Like
Okay.
some things can shift around, and all of a sudden you really don't look like yourself.
Like yourself. So I'm not against fillers at all. Like I have some friends who have very thin faces. They love filler. And I'm like, great, good for you if that works for you.
Yeah.
That hasn't worked for me, but I do use Botox. But for me, it's been the topical treatments. And I was just having this conversation with someone. They're like, are you going to do a laser? Are you going to do this or that? And lasers are so expensive. But I've had bad luck with lasers because they start a rosacea breakout for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the expense and the recovery from a laser,
Right.
So I'm now more about everyday
Taking
skin
care of
health.
your
So
skin.
I have been, me personally, I've been using red light.
Yeah, that can be very good.
And so I do the red light on my face several times a week. I'm consistent with that. And then I use these products. And I really feel like, I mean, it's not a miracle. Like nobody's looking at you and going, wow, you look like a different person. But I feel like my skin is brighter.
Yeah, I would agree.
And
No, I mean, you're...
well, you look good too. See, we all
you're
look good.
glowing.
But here's the thing. So I
looks
use
very healthy.
Yes.
Healthy skin.
So I use the Overnight Magic. I use these are my
Fountain of-
go-to. I use the Fountain of Glow. This is my go-to lotion. And then the other product, the fourth product that I use on a daily basis is the Let's Neck. Can we talk about it?
Yeah. Yes.
That is
number one top seller, right?
Yeah. I think we're in a neck crisis in the world.
It's-
everyone hates their
everyone's
neck.
talking about it, right?
But
Yeah,
look
everyone
at your
is-
neck. Like I genetically, and if my mom's watching, Mom, you're beautiful. My mom's actually 87, has never done
Oh,
86,
she's my mom's
turning
age.
87,
Yeah.
never done a thing to her skin, and she looks amazing. But we all just have these kind of wrinklier necks, my family, and it shows your age. And what are you going to do about it? So I've been using this and my decollete, where I've had all these skin cancers removed.
Yeah.
This is my every night.
Right. So this is...
Here.
See, I put on
We
so
put-
much
She put on so
product.
much lotion.
She's showing you
So
off.
you open it
You
up.
turn it on. So it has a really great roller ball
And
that
then you-
is cooling and massage. It's
like
a massage.
stainless steel. And then
Right.
you take the product, don't over squeeze it because
Right.
it'll come flying out. So I've got a little product coming out right now, and then you roll it on.
And I would start this in your we have women in their 20s buying Let's Neck because
Why
taking
wouldn't
care
you?
of your neck and décolleté has been an afterthought, especially for our generation.
Yep.
I mean, how many of us
I
and our
100%
friends actually laid out on tinfoil with baby oil, right?
We
So-
took record albums. If you don't know what that is, it is where music used to come from.
Yes, right.
And we would coat it with tinfoil. And then we'd take the TV and put it had to have ears because you didn't have cable. So we
Right.
put the TV in the windowsill where we could watch our soap opera.
Oh,
and then
that's
we'd go
so
like
funny.
this with tinfoil. And my God. And I wonder why I have skin problems.
Right, but we all did it. So
Yeah.
it's so important to take care of those forgotten areas. The other thing, and my mom was in the beauty industry, and she explained this to me. You have fewer oil glands in your neck.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Than your face. So your neck needs
More moisture.
more moisture.
Wow.
Isn't that
and
interesting?
so this product is your number one, and it keeps selling out, right?
Yeah, it's been a hot. It was great on Prime Day.
Right,
Yep.
right. People were
Last
going
week.
crazy and filling up on their Let's Neck.
Yeah, but it has Hyaclear 7 in it, which is the advanced form of hyaluronic acid.
Okay. Yeah.
And it also has peptide, which is a form of red algae that kind of helps with a little bit of the tightening.
Awesome.
But I want to just say, your wrinkles are not going to disappear
No.
with Let's Neck.
No,
But
nothing's
your
gonna
skin,
disappear.
well, I just have to say that
Yeah.
because we get customers that were like, my wrinkles are still there. It's like, okay.
Sorry.
It's not
They will-
going, it's going to tighten fine lines. You will see a difference. We have some great before and afters on our site and on Amazon. But it's really about taking care of your skin,
Yeah.
hydrating that area so
Well-
it doesn't continue to get worse.
And I
Right.
talk all the time in my live classes as well as to Get Healthy UTV. I would say, like, if you are in your 20s and 30s and you're lifting weights, you have the secret sauce. You are doing what
Right,
you need
right.
to do to take care of your body when you are in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. If you can adapt these
Absolutely.
habits in youth, you won't be talking about the things that we're talking about because we didn't do those
Right.
things. I mean, I didn't start lifting weights till the 90s when
Right,
it
right.
became, and that was even early for people
Right.
my
we were
age.
not informed.
We
you
weren't
know, it was
informed.
like
And now we
also
kn-
women you know, I played tennis. I was told, oh, it's going to hurt your tennis game if you lift weights. How is that possible?
Right? Right? Now
But
we know
just,
better.
There was so much misinformation.
Well,
Right.
this is another. You guys pick. These are the products that are like, they're like gold. I just feel so happy. Like when I found out you guys were from Minnesota, I was like,
know.
oh, of course they're Minnesotans. Minnesota, nice. It's really
Yeah,
just.
thank you.
It's
It's
really
been-
fun, and it's
Yeah.
interesting to hear about all these ingredients because you know the all like red algae. I love that. I didn't know that.
And I think so many women have become very informed about ingredients.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you go on to our site, there's section, you know, you can drop down and read more about Hyaclear 7 or peptide. And
And
I
you can
think
really
that's,
see, yeah.
you know, so important that people know what they're putting in their body.
Well, and I also like, you know, on Amazon, we have as America become used to reading random people's reviews. You know,
Yes.
and I was
Yeah.
like, we don't know those people. They could be really weird, but I always read reviews.
Amazon does a great job.
And there are
with
so many
reviews.
good reviews for
Yeah.
Womaness.
Yeah.
I'm always like, you know, it's really inspiring to see so many women feeling happy
Yeah,
about their skin as
absolutely.
opposed to complaining. But anyway, okay, how about another question? Because I know we're
No, you guys are like kind of touching on them, but so Chris, can you talk about your rosacea first and foremost? Because there
Yeah.
are a couple of people saying like they have rosacea. So talk about that, and then like what do you use? I mean, obviously you've kind of touched on it, but is there a specific routine, and like what are ingredients that can clear up rosacea or help with that?
So the first time I got rosacea, it had to have been about 8 to 10 years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh. And really, really cold weather can bring it
Oh,
on.
okay.
Like being out in the severe cold. So when I always make sure my face is covered. But what happened for me is I was getting bumps. So like if I turned sideways and you looked on a 3D view, I was getting like bumps underneath my skin, almost like not pustules, bumps.
Wow.
Underneath my
Okay.
skin. And then I would get like red dots and just like red cheeks. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I found out it was rosacea. It can just come on as you
Yeah.
get older. It can be exaggerated by bad products, putting the wrong products on your skin. And that's when I got really serious about, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm not going to just, because you know how you used to go like to Nordstrom and get some samples and you just put them on?
Right.
No way. When someone
Yeah.
hands me a sample, like try this eye cream, I'm like, not going to.
thank you.
You know, and even I will tell you this, some of the most expensive makeup lines have the worst skincare.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
toxic skincare.
Right.
I've been finding like the less expensive ones are actually the better, like have better ingredients lately, you know, with some of that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my experience with it. So a ton of histamines, eating a ton of histamines all at once. Now, a lot of healthy foods have histamines. So there was a point where I remember it was like, I was eating too much, like I don't eat like spinach. I was eating tons of spinach because I was like putting it in my shake, and I was eating lots of foods that were high in histamine. Red wine, I love red wine, but it exacerbates it. Like I have to be
Yeah.
careful with red wine. I can drink red wine if I have a glass here and there, but I space it out. I would never have like it 3 days in a row or
Right,
something like
right.
that, because it would totally blow up. And then skincare products were causing it for me. So when I get a blow up or a breakout,
out.
I am really careful. So vitamin C has been my go-to. I feel like vitamin C, and then this last one. So I will say I had a laser 2 years ago. It was right after. So it was right after maybe it was a year and a half ago. It was right when I met you.
Okay.
And I had this laser, and it was such a mistake because it's a long story, but they did 2 lasers at once. Never should have done 2 lasers at once. I called her like a day later, and I was like, oh my gosh, like you told me this was a day of downtime. Like I am like a Oompa Loompa. My face was blown up. You saw me.
I did see
It
her.
was a
Oh,
mess.
wow.
And it was a 7-day recovery, but my rosacea broke out. And so I was like, that's what started me on this.
Yeah,
because I was like, I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to
Yeah.
try this.
Wow.
And it really just evened out my skin tone, helped me. I've only had one like kind of breakout since then, and I just always just stay really true to my skincare and be careful about eating anything that might cause, to cause it. But typically, it's high in histamine.
So it's not stress.
It could be stress. It hasn't been for me.
Okay,
Rosacea
got
can
it.
come from a lot of things, but it hasn't
Okay.
been stress
Yeah.
for me. It's been super cold weather brought on
Yeah.
by a product. The laser really screwed me up. That's why I'm kind of afraid of them.
Yeah.
And then certain foods.
Okay.
but I have really had luck with, you know.
A lot of people that have rosacea have had luck with overnight
And
magic.
you say like hyaluronic acid, which I love hyaluronic acid, but vitamin C has, for me, I feel like that's such a game changer.
What is it like? What's good for sensitive skin? So ingredient and or product good for like very sensitive skin.
Well, I talked about Bacchusol,
Which is the plant-based retinol.
plant-based retinol,
Okay.
which is more gentle.
Yeah.
I think you just really have to, look for clean ingredients. Because like you said, I don't want to name any of the prestige lines that might be available at Nordstrom, but they might be full of too many fragrances
or weird things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fragrance is a big deal.
Right.
Fragrance is like, you're like, oh, it smells so nice, but they can be.
It can be tricky.
Really tricky.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell a quick story. And my girlfriend, so nobody, I'm not naming her, but she had told me about these skincare products, and she's like 60 something. Her skin looks amazing. I said, okay, well, tell me about them. And she told me about them. Really expensive French product, can only get them online from certain places. Anyway, long story short, I'm like, I will try 2 of your products. So I ordered them, got a message, an email message for one of them. She doesn't live in Minnesota. Said, we won't deliver that to Minnesota. It's banned in Minnesota. One of the ingredients in it was, so I said to my friend, I can't get one of your products because the freaking ingredient is banned.
Yeah.
That's kind of scaring me. Got the other product, horrible.
Wow.
Super expensive. I said, I put it on my skin once. It did kind of make me get red and everything. I was like, I'm like, I'm going to give it to you next time I see you because I'm not using them.
Yeah. Wow.
Gotta have those good ingredients.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about the other 2 supplements that you have.
Okay.
Because the Active Glow
Yes.
and the sleep. So sleep is such a subject with
I know.
menopause. And I think, you don't want to get hooked on a sleep aid or taking a Benadryl or doing any of that kind of stuff that is pharmaceutical. I have found luck with melatonin.
Yeah,
and your product, Let Me Sleep. So talk about it. Yeah.
It has a timed release melatonin.
Amazing.
So I think what we have found, women in perimenopause, menopause can go to sleep, but they wake
Can't
up.
stay asleep,
It's that 3 a.m.
Wake up.
And that's, I do it almost every night, to be honest.
Yep.
But I'm training myself to figure out how to breathe and go back to sleep.
That was the first thing. Like, I've always been a rock of a sleeper.
Yeah.
So
but you start
I
to
just
see
believed, I thought, well, when I go through menopause, that won't happen to me because I'm such a hard sleeper. It was like clockwork. I was up at 3, cannot go back to bed.
Right. And your body starts almost getting used to waking up. So we have a timed release melatonin for that reason, to, not only get you to sleep, but help you
What
stay
else is
asleep.
in it?
We have GABA, which is a natural ingredient for calm. I think a lot of your audience would probably know about that. Chamomile extract and magnesium, which is really good.
Yeah.
That's a really key ingredient in this. So.
Okay, that's a great
So this,
supplement.
and you don't have to use it every night.
Just when
like most supplements, you want to get into a habit of taking a supplement, that supplement every day for best results, but not with Let Me Sleep. You can use it as needed.
But what I like is it is a supplement. It's not a pharmaceutical.
Right,
And I think
right.
a lot of people are hooked on pharmaceutical sleep aids because,
Yeah.
Sleep is a big deal.
Right.
It's a big deal. It makes or breaks a lot of your ability to function.
Right. And then Active Glow, which I think you've tried as well.
And I like.
And it's really catching on. It's for hair, skin, and nail and joints. So
and
it has
for me, I was all about the hair. I'm
Yeah.
like, why won't my hair grow
Right,
like it
right.
used to?
So we have only 3 ingredients in this. We have Longvita, which is a clinical form of turmeric. And turmeric, I'm sure your audience knows, is really good for inflammation.
Yes.
And what we've been learning about hair thinning and hair loss is it's actually the inflammation of your follicle.
Really?
Yes. And
interesting.
so we're just starting a campaign about hair loss and Active Glow, and we're going to actually partner, it hasn't launched yet, with a hair serum.
Okay.
A founder, a friend of mine that started a hairline, and
Okay.
we're going to be selling her serum.
Oh my gosh, I
And
love
it's
it.
for like regrowth.
Right,
So-
which is as
It's
you know,
all
it
natural.
just happens as we get older. Like
Right.
your hair just thins.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite
Or
grow the same
It thins in certain areas.
in certain areas.
Right. You get the
or
baby.
it breaks off because you're
Right.
Because
using
your
bleach.
pillowcase.
Right, right.
Pillowcase, but bleach.
So this also has pomela, which is a form, it's an antioxidant. And then we have biotin and hyaluronic acid.
Okay, and biotin, I have heard, is
Yeah.
one of the key ingredients.
Yes.
And I've been taking biotin just to
Yeah,
try to help.
yeah.
But again, I need to be regular with this active
Right,
glow because
right.
that makes good sense.
Yeah, it's great. Now, not everyone can take biotin. There's someone on my team that
Really can't?
has
Okay, I haven't had
allergic
problem with
reaction
it.
to biotin.
Okay.
So, be careful,
Yeah.
know the ingredients.
Well, with
but
anything you take, always, there
but
people react.
This is really catching on. We've been out of stock on our site. We're getting back in stock, but we are in stock on Amazon.
Okay. I love,
So-
I mean, if you're going out of stock, that means people are liking your
Yes.
product. So
Yes. We've
that's
been chasing this
a
one,
good
but-
thing. Talk about the vaginal health because I do think that's something that people don't want to talk about.
Well, they're starting to want to talk about it, which
it's
is great.
slowly
Right.
starting.
Well, okay, people are embarrassed to talk about
Yeah.
maybe,
Yes.
but it's
It's,
something that like we're all going through this together. So,
So, as I said, your skin changes all over your body,
Mm-hmm.
even your vaginal skin. And this was one of the main reasons why I was so passionate about creating this brand, is because what it leads to, so your vaginal wall starts to thin out and
your
get
cervix
dry.
starts to shorten and
Yes.
everything starts to happen.
And you start to experience painful sex and you start to wonder what is going on here. I don't even want to have sex. And it leads to a whole host of other
And it is like
issues or
90% of women.
opportunities.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone.
It's
Don't
all
feel
of us.
alone.
Yep.
We're all together on this. So, we wanted to create a vaginal product that was very, again, clean. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It's a water-based vaginal moisturizer.
Okay.
What is the difference between a moisturizer and a lubricant? Lubricant goes to the FDA. As a small company, it's like $70,000 to be FDA approved and 18 months of being caught up in that whole process. So we have
Okay.
not done that yet.
So you haven't become a lubricant.
We haven't
Okay.
become a lubricant. So we have to be very careful about saying external use only.
Okay.
I would say it is fine internal, but
Well, and it absorbs,
We can't,
yeah.
Yes, we can't tout that, but it's really good product. This is our top selling sexual wellness product.
What's it called?
A Daily V Soothe.
Daily V
Sorry,
Smooth,
I missed
people.
the punchline. Thanks, Chris.
Because people are probably sitting there going, you know what, I want to try
I
that.
want that.
Yeah, this does extremely well, and it's very affordable.
And it's really a natural process. Like I have so many friends who have dealt with, and myself included, like painful sex, skin changing. But also I've had a lot of friends who've also just talked about like incontinence things
Yes.
happening as you get older. And that's one of the things I'm super thankful for exercise.
Yes,
And
that's a good point.
Pilates is really helping that pelvic floor because it's just very natural. The cervix is shortening and softening. The skin is changing.
Yeah.
Everything's changing. And
Right,
all of
right.
a sudden everyone's like, oh my God, this sounds miserable. But it actually isn't miserable
Right,
because
right.
don't you agree?
Yeah,
Like it's such a good time of life.
Absolutely. You're more confident, you have all this wisdom, and I would not have started a business like this.
Right. Yeah.
Probably before menopause.
Right,
Because
until
I
you
think
got to a
menopause
certain point of your life.
Yes, I think it coincides with maybe midlife, although women are going through menopause earlier and earlier for some reason.
Yeah.
But it's really when you feel like you have the skill set and the knowledge and the network to do a lot more.
That. So talk about the other product.
The
Cocoa
other one
Bliss.
is a completely different type of experience. It's called Cocoa Bliss. It's also a vaginal moisturizer. It's coconut oil based.
Okay.
A lot of, which is a very natural, again, antioxidant.
Yeah.
And it is very hydrating.
Okay.
So it's a different experience than Daily V Soothe.
Okay.
It's a lot more moisture,
So which
moisturization.
is your most popular?
This one.
The Daily V?
Daily V,
Okay.
but this one's coming up. I think A lot of women are using it also like for massage oil or
I like that.
it's really
I love
it's
coconut oil.
Yeah. And
I've always loved coconut oil.
it has a really good texture.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
and it's just important to have choice, but
Yeah.
we don't want to have so many options that women get overwhelmed.
So, yeah.
Which I love. Sometimes
Yeah.
too many options
Yeah.
is,
Are
too many.
is too many.
Too many.
We're very
like, I don't want an
editing.
under eye cream, an over eye cream, a this, or that. It's like, no.
Who has time to do a
And
lip
even-
liner?
yeah, and
Yeah.
you're
A lip
like,
liner and a lip.
Like I have tried the eye product.
Yeah.
It is a good product. I just, myself,
Right.
I'm not going to do that
Yeah.
every night. And when something says, wait to dry 1 minute in between, I'm like, are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
You're like, I don't have that.
No,
I'm
we don't
putting
have
it
time.
on.
Yeah, we're active.
use that vitamin C oil whenever you have time in your home, and you can just let it soak in. And then at night, overnight magic in bed.
Right.
Love.
Chop.
We have a question. Are the products best purchased on Amazon or through your company, like directly?
Either way.
Yep.
Yeah, we do a great.
You do a big
Chris
business
helps
on
us
Amazon. Yeah.
drive business to Amazon once in a while. And
Yes, we do. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean, I think let you decide where you want to shop.
right.
You know, it's a lot of people like to be close to the brand. They like being part of that, DTC, which means direct to consumer, that kind of overall experience. Some people just want to be on Amazon, use their Prime.
Right.
Get
you
it
know,
quickly.
I think you
Get
can
it
get
overnight.
it super quick.
Overnight.
Yeah, so it just,
And if they were to go to retail, you're in Ulta.
we're in Ulta Beauty.
Okay.
And we just launched at Walmart.
At Walmart.
And it's only the Works is there, and our 3 supplements and our 2 vaginal moisturizers.
That's
Okay.
fantastic.
so very few skin. I mean, it's only a body cream.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, it is hard to
and
get
all-
in brick and mortar today.
It's
hard
been
to get
great.
in.
Yeah, they've been really good partners. So has Ulta. We have more skincare at Ulta, but we do have menopause, and we do have our 2 vaginal.
And we have a whole list, a shopping list on our Amazon storefront.
Yep, and I dropped
because
that
so
in
many
there.
people ask.
Yeah.
We put it all into one list.
Yep.
That's great.
Instead of sending people one product at a
Okay.
time, because it's like, here's the whole.
Just go shopping.
Just
Yeah,
go shop
yeah.
the line and check
And
it
all
out.
of our products are available on Amazon.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
Can you talk about hormonal acne, especially during perimenopause? Is there anything that's going to help with hormonal acne?
yeah, we don't have a product, specifically designed for that. We've had requests. There's only so many products that we
can
tackle because each one is, so expensive to create, formulate, test. We do rigorous testing, and then of course you got to buy the inventory, and then you have to market the product
and all this stuff. Yeah.
But I would say, really start to maybe assess your diet, right? The nutritional part of it.
And honestly, hormonal acne is weird because, like, when you get to be in your 40s and 50s, it's like not like a face of acne like you might have gotten when you were
Just-
younger.
yeah,
it's like
breakouts.
one or two like pimples that come up, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
and it could be hormone related, and you're almost best with just like a treatment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I will say I have found a treatment that I think is the freaking
yeah.
best
What
thing in
do
the
you
world.
think?
Okay, it's called Kate Somerville.
Oh
Have you
yeah,
ever heard
Kate
of her?
Somerville. Yeah,
I met her actually
yeah.
at
Yeah.
QVC.
That's great.
And
Yeah.
it is a product that looks like Pepto-Bismol with like a liquid on the top.
Okay.
You're not supposed to shake it. The liquid is supposed to separate. You take a Q-tip, you dip it
Okay.
in. It's some sort of like,
Isn't it like pink?
yes,
too?
it's
Yeah.
pink.
Oh,
And you
interesting.
just dip it in. It looks like Pepto-Bismol, and you just dot it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I might get a pimple once every 5 years or something. When you get older, that's not your problem. It's wrinkles. It's not pimples,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
wrinkles. But if I dab that stuff on, I'm not kidding. It's gone overnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kate Somerville.
And I forget what it's called. There's a name for it. It's Kate Somerville something.
It's probably on Amazon.
We'll find it on Amazon.
Yeah,
I've
it
actually ordered
is.
it. Go in my shopping.
I'll get
Yeah,
there.
that's great.
Go in my orders. I've ordered it.
I also think, assessing your nutrition. I think sometimes I break out because my skin is dry.
Yes.
It's like trying to over overreact from being
And
dry.
I've
So-
also, that's what it is. It's called eradicate.
Oh, that's fun.
Eradicate. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay, that's a great tip.
So yes, that I've known for a lot of people love it, and myself included. And when I talked to Kate about it, I remember, and I was like, that is the one product that I took away from it all.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and a dry skin is just, it's so interesting as we get older. Like I still make sure that I wash my skin after workout. Always wash my skin to get that bacteria off so it's not sitting on your face. And then immediately vitamin C, moisturize. Don't let your skin just sit there dry, because oh my gosh, you notice.
Yeah, I think and it's just getting into a routine as well.
Yeah.
That really helps.
You somewhat touched on it, but there is someone asking, it's not me. What can I do as a 37-year-old? So your top tips on, you're younger, you want to take care of it. What are some of your top tips as a 37-year-old?
For your skin?
Yes.
Well, I think, definitely focus on clean. If we haven't said that 50
Clean
times.
ingredients.
Clean ingredients.
Clean ingredients. And I think just really find a great moisturizer, the vitamin C serum. And don't forget about those forgotten areas, because when you're 37, you can still really, treat your skin and hydrate it, and it will look better. I mean, I have friends that have really taken care of their skin, and they look so much younger.
Yeah,
than someone who hasn't.
If I could go back to 37, I wish someone would have told me to put lotion on the back of my hands and my neck every day.
Yeah,
I never did.
Yeah, and
I
sunscreen.
Never did.
Yeah, sunscreen.
Really use
and
sunscreen, and I'm
yes.
still horrible at that. I'll run out in between Zoom calls, go for a walk. I don't have sunscreen on.
So I started using a tinted moisturizer.
Yeah,
so that's the other
yeah.
thing. After I do, wash my face, put on some vitamin C. If I'm going to go outside, then I quickly put on my tinted moisturizer that has the
Which
SPF.
one do you
I
like?
use Revisions.
Okay, yeah.
And is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just love it. I know there's so many different brands, but I put that on every day just to have it.
Yeah, that's a good.
And I wear a baseball cap everywhere I go, except for when I'm teaching at Get Healthy UTV. But if I'm teaching a class, I have a hat on. If I'm walking, I have a hat on.
I agree. I think
because I am freaked out by spots. There is a laser that can get dark spots. I think it's called the BBL.
Okay.
And you can get it just targets dark spots as you age. So that's something you could start earlier. But if I were 37, I'd be put lotion on your hands, put lotion on your neck.
Right. And arms.
And arms.
And legs.
I never used to. I'd be in such a hurry. Little kids, I'm I am put lotion on.
Yeah.
Do you put lotion on every time?
Not every time, but I'm someone who's more dry, so I try to. I would say in the summer a lot more often than in the winter.
Which is funny because in the summer at least you have some plump in your skin, whereas in the winter we get so dry.
Scaly,
especially in this climate.
Yeah.
But yes, I think just hydrate all over your body.
Do the things that you can now. These products aren't just for menopause. Put on a good lotion. Take care of your face. Put a morning cream on, night cream, and a vitamin C. You don't have to do all the other stuff. These skincare treatments where it's the Korean skincare where you're okay, do this, and okay, then do this. Okay, now do this. It's that's a lot.
Doesn't have to be that complicated.
But just
simplify,
but do it.
routine.
Do it. Because I wish I could go back and have taken better care of those areas.
I had a friend that wore gloves driving too.
Stop.
So getting back
smart.
to some of those ideas of, way back when.
Well, I have
Wasn't
a
that
friend who's a
smart?
golfer, and she said, you wear I'm not a golfer, so I don't know which hand you wear the golf glove on.
I don't
know if it's the top hand or the bottom hand or whatever. She's why don't they tell you to wear gloves on both hands?
know.
She said, one of my hands is so spotted because she golfs a ton.
Yeah.
One of my hands is so spotted and the other hand is not. I'm that's ridiculous.
Well, don't see people say this side of your face when
that
you're
you
driving?
sleep on and when you drive.
From driving. So I never thought
I
about
do
that.
notice I have more wrinkles on the left side of my face, and I mean obviously driving, but I have been sleeping on the left side of my face for 15 years, and I literally, this is a true story, I made my husband switch sides of the bed, and he's oh my God. I do this to him about every 10 years. I go, we're switching sides. He goes, what? No.
I know,
I'm
isn't that
no,
true?
we're switching sides. And he goes, no. And I'm yes. And I just immediately started getting in bed on the other side.
Monumental. It's wow, that's such a huge
And I'm
change.
trying to sleep on this side of my face now because
and how's it going?
It's hard, but I have been doing that because honestly, I really, in pictures and everything, I can tell that this side, like when I smile, I have more wrinkles here than I do here.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Gotta
a
do
lot
what you gotta
can happen even when you're sleeping.
Right?
The way
Right.
you sleep, the way you
So what other nuggets of wisdom from Womaness? What do you guys talk about? What's your big thing next? Or what's the message out there for women?
Well, I think there's a lot of momentum around the sexual wellness category and conversation, and women are wanting, like when you start to talk to women, because we allow women to like set up a Zoom with us if they want to just
I love it.
have
Awesome.
a conversation. And what usually happens is they talk about the usual issues, but then they always say, but the biggest issue is I've lost my desire. Painful
The
sex,
libido, the sex, yeah.
libido. So I think there's just a lot more acceptance to being open about that. And I mean,
So
it doesn't
the
mean you
menopause and then these vaginal products could be really, really interesting and helpful.
Very helpful.
Now,
so
how do you?
we just really encourage women to not suffer in silence and, reach out
And we have talked about hormone replacement, which we don't
Yes.
have time completely to talk about, but we have
Yes.
talked about it on our Q&As.
That's great.
And being that none of us are doctors,
Yeah.
I don't give any advice as to
Right,
who or
right.
how or what you do, but my thing has always been do what works for you.
Right.
Everybody, like every pregnancy is different.
Right.
Every menopause is
Yes,
different.
yes.
And I have been taking hormone replacement therapy for, let's see, I'm 59. So I feel like I started when I was like 54. I was kind of
Yeah.
late to the party.
Yeah. That's okay.
But the reason I started it was not because I was like going crazy in menopause, was because I was hearing all the protective values for
there's
brain
a lot of benefits.
and for your heart and everything. So I was like, I'm willing to do it, and for protecting your bones. And so
Yes.
I didn't have any like crazy like, oh my gosh, I started taking hormones and my life has changed.
Yeah.
Like I did it for those reasons. My two younger sisters, like life changing, like they were
Wow.
going through
Yeah.
craziness. But one thing I will say, and I'm it's not a guarantee, but I've been continuously and consistently exercising for the
Yeah.
last 40 years of my life. And I feel like that makes a difference, whereas my sisters have not.
Yeah.
And I think your
agree.
menopause hits differently. And if they're listening right now, they're going to call me right after this and be like, you BI, like, don't say that about me. But I mean, I do think that those of you who are exercising, yay
Yeah.
for you. But everything is different. So what you put on your skin, what you take orally in your body, like it is a big freaking deal.
Right. And we all look up to you because you started
Please don't.
you started exercising so young, and you've been so disciplined, and
I have been
you're
disciplined
just-
about it, but I mean, my hope is that people realize you can start at
Yeah,
any
yeah.
age, that you're never too late. I mean, we have seen women start in their 60s and
know.
70s and start
Yeah.
exercising and be like, holy cow, I didn't know I
really
could
is
feel this good.
transformative.
You are never too late. You're never too late to start doing a better skincare program. You're never too late to take
Right,
care
right.
of, your sleep problems or your vaginal problems or whatever it might be. I think people get like hung up on,
They give up.
game
and
over. Yeah.
Don't give up.
What would you say is what is your age? What do you think your audience is exactly?
I would say, 45 to 55 is the sweet spot, but
but then you
we
probably
have
go
women
down.
in their 30s and women in their 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And it's
I
really
feel like
fun.
I've
to-
told so many people about the body lotion,
Yeah.
which to me has no age parameters.
Right.
I feel like I've told a lot of young people, including my kids, like,
Yeah.
don't put toxic lotion
Right,
on your
right.
body.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Good
Good quality products that are still affordable.
Yeah.
That's the ticket.
It's amazing. Any last question or we're done then?
I mean, we're pretty close. We're pretty close. So
Okay. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Sally.
thank you.
That's
So fun to have you here,
So
and-
fun to be with all of you too.
Good luck to Womaness as you
Thank
guys
you.
continue to grow. And I know it's
You'll
hard.
be a part of it.
Yeah,
You'll be a
I
part
love
of
it.
our
Well, I
journey.
am just so glad that I got contacted and told, and Sam knows because we're together all the time. I was like, I don't know if I want to try a new.
Yeah.
I'm just really hesitant about trying supplements and or skincare.
one, I think you are also someone that like you really want to like it before you tell
Yeah,
people about it.
and
So
If I'm
And
not
you did
using
that.
it, I'm not going to
She's
tell you.
not
And
telling us
I
about
do,
it.
and Sam knows. We get contacted all the time, like,
Right.
hey, you want to talk about this supplement, or you want to talk about this skincare thing? And I'm like, no,
No.
because if I'm not using it, I don't want to tell anyone else
Yeah,
about
and you
it.
made that very clear.
Yeah. I
Which is
remember because I
good,
said to you,
'cause-
I need to try this
Yeah.
for a month or two before I would
and
ever talk about
we
it.
appreciate that. We totally
Yeah,
respect
super
that.
fun.
But thank you.
Thank you.
So
That was
fun to
awesome.
We've had so
be
much
together.
fun. Yeah,
and
so
talk
thanks
about
for
our
joining.
favorite
Thanks,
subject.
Sally. If you want to know more about Womaness, you can go to womaness.com. There is so much information on their website. We market all the products on Amazon. My whole daily schedule is there for you. So
You also
can
have a blog about it.
Yep, a blog that you can download the whole supplement, not supplement, skincare routine. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys in the next workouts. We'll be back next month. By the way, next month we have a lymphatic drainage specialist. Super cool. I'm
Awesome.
super excited to talk to her. So we'll see you guys next month on our Q&A, but we'll see you in the workouts. Have a great one. Thank you, Sally.
Thank you.
Thank you.